best in my presentation everywhere. Excuse me, to take a picture of you guys.
That's a good beginning. Usually it's the other way around, so that's a good beginning.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to Mr. Takeo Padmani to invite me here to show presentation, and also Mr. Theory and Eric. Thank you very much. I thank you very much to you guys come here to listen to my presentation also. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about Japanese bartending here. Some of you guys already come to Japan to see lots of the Japanese bartending. So it might be a little different than what I'm saying about the typical Japanese bartending, but I believe what I believe. So Mr. Padmani invited me, so I tell you guys what I believe about Japanese bartending. So if you have anything to ask me anytime, just raise your hand to ask me. It's, I'm not very good speaking English speaker, so if you don't get it, just raise your hand and ask me, please. Thank you. And then it's quite a different way to develop Japanese bartending than the other countries because it's little island like Rome, and I think it's just based on all the traditional tea ceremony or flower arrangement, or it's like a sushi restaurant, sushi chef, to be shown all the time, and guest thinks the smooth working is directly influencing the taste. That's the way you think to be a bartending behind the counter. So we care about how do you look like, so the posture about the bartending. And in my country, I can say it's always traditional, old style. I could say very conservative. It's nothing trendy, nothing is being changed, nothing we changed, I think. So it's very popular, the old classic pattern always. We don't model so much. In a particular place they do use a Boston shaker, like a European style, but we basically use this kind of sleepy shaker, and this has a stain, but it's very classic mixing glass, creating all the classics. So we're not really thinking about what is new things all the time. What is going to be new? We're always thinking of how to create a right way or better way for a classic cocktail. So the great founder for a Japanese hot shake is called Mr. Kazuo Ueda. Well known in Europe, I think. His hot shake is like 3 steps, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I used to work Starbucks Ginza, which is very, very famous in my country. They do a 2-step hot shake. It's like a wake, like a faster, it pull faster than push. It's a 2-step. So ice is going around and around inside, and I put a lot of air, so it makes drinks smoother. and stair. We recently thinking about how important the ice is. So like I prepare two different temperature of ice because we have two different kinds of stair, which is, well, one is make the drinks temperature higher and lower, and shaking and using different size and a different temperature of ice. We always put spirit in the freezer, like minus 20 degrees. That means this ice is warmer. This ice about minus 3 or 2 degrees now. Liquid is minus 20 degrees. Ice is minus 2 degrees. So minus 20 degrees spirit was warmer. So do you get it? So we have two different kinds of stair, makes it higher and makes it lower. And we have about 5 different types of a shake for using regular work for each drink. Like white spirit with citrus flavor, or brown spirit with like cider cola, or something like that. Or combination cocktail. So we have many different kinds of shake. So I brought one big block of ice here. So I showed you here to how to cut the ice. So the camera is coming here. Okay. I use 3 different kinds of knife to cut ices. This one for carving. This one about shaping, and this one is separate from a big block. Using rubber hammer.
It's a bit like a butcher.
Okay. So I do separating first. Off. It's really hard to see, so probably should do it this way. You start doing like up and forward. Can you see the crack a little bit? Is it possible to crack? Yeah? If it stops cracking, it's easy. Just gently, or maybe more. Haven't done this long time in machine. Go. There is no waste. It's perfectly cut, like a great sharp edge. So you keep doing it to get right size of your eyes, what you want. So I probably should have this. or 5 or 6 every single day at work. Sorry. And this middle knife is good. Nice size. Okay. This takes 2 days to create this super clear ice in a factory in Japan. It's easy for us to get those kind of big block of ice. Just calling them how many you want and just bring them my work. So recently I hear about how hard to get those kind of ice. But it's from the techniques of making big block of ice is not from my country, from Europe, I believe. So this is about 4 or 5 different steps of purified, and takes 2 days. It's like really big. It's like a pool, big thing. So it's like water going around. So water gets frozen from the edge really slow. Water have to going around the middle, so air goes together in the center. So if you cut them half and take that white part off, you get really clear. Okay.
Can you give us an idea of price? How expensive is it to have something like that in your
price of a block of ice about $5 US.
So if you compare that with Tokyo price, is it actually easy for a bar to do that?
It's easy. I don't have ice machine in my bar, so I have to buy it every day. But I can.
The standard.
How many blocks do you need a day?
How many blocks?
How many blocks do you need a day?
Per day. It depends on the day, but it's I hope 10 or 20, I'd like to say, but it's a 4 or 5. The most of the Japanese people are using ice pick to separate each block, but you can't start exact the same place, so knife is better for me. And people start carving ice balls. It's like using ice pick, but I use knife for it and show you later. And became popular to carve called brilliant cut ice diamond recently. So it was served in Starbucks Ginza because it's not special. Ice ball is not special in my country anymore. So everyone is making ice balls and serving ice balls. It's not fun. And people say it doesn't melt, but it's ice. It's melt. So it's like carving a different shape is like eye candy for the guest. So carving a different type of shape and stuff like that. It's just for fun for customer. That's all. It's just ice.
We don't see it like that.
Whiskey, gin, any kind of spirit is the main character. Ice is not.
I think it puts the standard of Japanese bartending style for people who haven't been to Japan again to understand that. For the first moment you step in a bar, the way you are greeted, the way you are made feel welcome, the way you get a towel.
Oh yeah.
It's never seen anywhere else. And I think ice again reflects the quality of the industry out there.
Really? I kind of never gone to the bar in a different country, so sorry. yeah, you get warm towel to welcome to the customer first. So mango is like washing their face and stuff. A lady goes, I smell. So some places minty smell. Some places like softening smell. It depends, but it's warm welcome to guests to give the hot, warm towel. I think it's pretty normal in my country. So
That's regular standard in Japan. That's correct.
The thing is, in Europe, they have towels on the toilet.
Sure. Okay.
can I go?
Mr. Mayer, we go tomorrow, so we take care of it. Please do.
First, I start carving ice ball. So you get closer. It's just, taking edge out. Just careful with your fingers. Just going, taking edge out. So a little bit of a bumpy is, looks like handmade, so probably need a couple minutes. I can talk, so you can ask me something, I answer.
You're doing the ice with your hands. Are Japanese customers worried about that hygiene?
I'm from sushi country, so I'm using bare hand in front of the customer. It's no problem. Customer never complain about it, and someone told me bartender's hands is always should be very clean, so it shouldn't be care about holding ice in their hand. Did I get it? Yeah.
It keeps growing, it's good.
Okay.
Questions? So, in regards to this ice, when you come to Europe and when you meet bartenders like today, which see that in a different way because again, France and the UK have picked up a trend from Japan more and more often. When you go back to Japan, how does the Japanese bartender see the European bartender or the American bartender? How do you interpret? How do you see bartenders? What Japanese bartenders? What do they think? What do they think of European bartenders?
My work.
Yeah, your friend at work, if they come to London or Paris, they go inside a bar, they get a funny ice, a little bit runny, that becomes melting very quickly.
Have you ever seen a Japanese bartender in your bar?
No, maybe not. But we see sometimes, mostly, maybe more of them in the UK or in New York. I think there's a bar, I could be wrong, called Angel Share, which showcases. And European people seems to be very surprised with the way you treat ice. As in Japan, it's me an everyday thing.
I'm not sure. I think it's like Kenta Koto from Tekla in New York. He just came to my bar 2 months ago. And he told me to get influence from Japanese bartending because he's Japanese, but he wants to be introduce a Japanese way to the Western, but he's not really touched the real Japanese bartending before. So it's everything, it's program for Japanese bartending with you guys is language. Always there's like a barrier. no Japanese bartender speak none of the English or the other kind of language at all. So even if you go to the Japanese bar and say speak something to them, it's like look at the menu, so you just order the martini. Okay, it's like it's all happening smoothly. But here's a Japanese bartender and showing video about there is a lady called Miss Mukai who came to all over from Japan, Scotland here to look at me. But she speaks English, a little bit of French, right? It's very rare. It's very rare. But she's good at something else. I forgot. But I'm not saying she's not a good bartender. It's really, really hard to ask the detail about the Japanese bartender in Japan. So, okay. It looks like far now, yeah?
We're gonna try like that, okay?
Okay. I just put the lights here, or LED lights, like this, and it's all about reflection. So if you put some liquor inside, it's very beautiful. This is daytime, so it's not so.
Now we can see a bit the light going on and off. So it's all about the reflection in the diamonds. Is that correct?
Yeah. And the customer goes, oh, it's like. Then for Thursday, it's like 12 euro come to maybe 15 euro to do this. And I check the temperature of ice with this. This is a thermometer to. Oh, thank you for that. This one's like -2. This one like 2. So I check the temperature all the time, so I don't burn my finger. When it is too cold, like -20, I burn myself to carbon. So and after you shake, you check the temperature up, so you can see how cold your coffee is. It's very useful. This is my carbon, right? This is the same material as the Japanese wood. It's a 100 lines. Oh yeah. It used to be a 15 centimeter, like a fruit knife. I sharpen a knife every day like you. This is about 80 years old. So don't break it. Okay?
Just don't cut yourself, Michael. Don't know if you have enough plaster.
Well, just keep cutting the edge. Yeah. So I start making cocktail. I'm so glad anyone else behind me, so I can be late or finish early.
Take your time. We don't get someone to fly from Japan every day here in Paris. So take your time. So the first cocktail you're going to make?
White lady. In Europe, I believe you put egg white in white lady, right?
It does happen.
But I don't. In my country, nobody put egg white in white lady.
Is there a reason why?
Because our recipe doesn't say egg white.
That's good enough.
I've never seen a recipe with an egg white long time. And our honorary, very respected Peter Doherty was creating white lady together with Simon's Place, with Michael, and me, was Mr. Anders Winchester. And we're using egg white. He's using egg white. It's like, oh yeah, it's egg white is a friend over each ingredient. Okay, that's interesting.
I think I've seen the video. I think pretty much I've seen the video, and if you haven't seen it, get your eyes on the web and go look for it.
But I believe a kind of shake called a heart shake mixed really with lots of ice for the one drink. So make it really colder and put as much air as you could. So air, I believe air can be replaced egg white.
So I would, instead of using the white as an emulsion maker, you use the air and the hard shake to provoke the emulsion, the fluff, and the way the drinks go. Okay.
And in my place, we check the taste before shake. Always.
What did you use to do that? Did you use a special spoon or a straw or?
This spoon is plastic from Starbucks.
Pretty good.
Okay, sorry.
And the talk is not sponsored by Starbucks. But usually when you use a spoon from a special spoon or not, when you're in Japan in your own bar, do you have a preferred kind of spoon or it's whatever spoon you can use? Detail? Anything, anyway.
Yeah. But I don't believe that most of Japanese bartender putting up, parcel like this and a lot of water inside and check that I'm put in here and just a little bit tasting here. So I don't believe that because it's not enough. It's not enough. So that person must be a genius or more. Okay?
There must be a lot of genius in Japan.
They haven't shaken in a couple of days.
So now the shake you're going to demonstrate is a hard shake.
Yes.
Which one?
The Starbucks style, two-step one.
Okay.
Wait one.
Michael? Okay? Easy, hard?
Good. What a great start for the game. Very good. Thank you. A lot of air and really tiny ice on the surface. It's water after it's melted, but this cocktail should be -6 degrees. So it's like iceberg in a pool. It won't get melted long time. So people like it when they drink. It's like gone very comfortably. So if you guys want to drink, go ahead.
Are we making already the second drink?
Cold bamboo bamboo cocktail.
Bamboo cocktail.
Have you ever heard of bamboo cocktail? It's the first Japanese cocktail. It created in 1890 and, by the American bartender who works in Grand Hotel Yokohama. Heard about that? Anyone?
Anyone?
You have? It's like it's just like dry sherry, fino sherry, and bamboo. It's like light martini. It's the first Japanese cocktail ever.
So what ice are you using for that?
I mean, just chilling. The vessel first. I was just talking about two different kinds of beer, right? For this kind of cocktail, you have to make it chill, colder. So I'm using really cold one, minus 20 degrees one. I always try not to make any sound, just pick the right way, just right size. Can you hear it? Not much. I don't want, because it gets air inside it. Let's shake a lot of air. Is there? No air. So you get lots of output in the palm. I use much little one. My work, but I didn't find it. Just a simple 3/4 and 1/4. It's very simple. If you have Oloroso sherry, the splash of Oloroso sherry is also really good. That is not standard. Always taste before creating. I could say I spin lots faster than the other kind of beer because I want to make it cooler, faster. I didn't bring my own glass, so it looks a little bit, but it's the Japanese one.
So you took the plane with like a 25 kilogram spin of ice, but the drum bring your own glass?
It's their main drinking. It's like a 6 centiliter recipe all the time. I don't really care about the recipe because you don't have to know. Someone said it, looking at book, cocktail book. It's not about how much you know about the recipe. It's about how can you make it better, create a good. So, say you know the thousands of recipe for the cocktail world, but you don't really care about the recipe very much. If you put I bit it's better for from the cocktail. You go.
Nice one.
Is it good?
That's pretty good.
Good?
Yeah.
Good.
In your bar,
Right.
do you have a cocktail list?
Oh, cocktail list inside of my head.
So,
So I don't have it. It might think it's strange, but Japanese traditional bar never have a bar cocktail list. I've been thinking why recently, because many friends from all over the world ask me my cocktail list, but I don't have any. Why? I was thinking about it a long time. I recently had a conclusion about it, and it's if you have a cocktail list, they choose from the cocktail list. Even if you say you can ask the bartender, you can create the other things not in the list, you can ask, but they ask from the list anyway most of the time. So we don't want that. Just communicate their favorite. You know, if you choose from a cocktail list, it might be too strong. It happens to some customers. So I don't want to happen those things. So I ask them what kind of drink do you want. You know, it's like a cocktail, short cocktail, a long drink, and do you want 6 ounce flavor in it, or do you want like a gin-based cocktail or a rum-based cocktail? And talking, and I can choose right thing for the customer. So Japanese traditional bar never have a cocktail list.
So every time a customer comes, a different customer, the bartender, you actually will take the time to, after welcoming the guest, discuss the guest's choice and match something quite specifically to that guest.
Right.
And we're talking bar, holding, how many people can you welcome in your bar?
Well, I have 8 for the counter and 10 for the table. And so I call my bar a forehead bar because it's very small, but I can see everyone, and I can take care of everyone who come out. And we need the people, I mean bar work, because they have to ask each drink what they want, because we don't have a list. I have a seasonal fruits cocktail list. It's like 5 or 6 in the whole season. You know, sometimes strawberry, sometimes whatever, something like that. Basically, we don't have it, so ask what kind of drink they want. So, when I'm making, someone has to ask. So, need people, but I don't know. The price as cocktail list. Not really respected my country.
Okay, so if you have a cocktail list in your bar, you a cocktail bar for tourists visiting, not like will consider like a bar.
It's like a hospitality things to ask, to talk about what they want and choose a perfect drink is a part of our hospitality, we think.
That's true. Something maybe to tell the guests quite briefly is, how hard was it to open your own bar in Tokyo? Can you tell us a little bit more about I-5? Why is it called I-5?
Why is it called Hi-Fi? Well, I thought it sounds fun, and it sounds a victory, because when you give high five only good time. It's like only home run, or you touchdown, or you goal, or something like that. So I thought it sounds really good. I didn't want to name of a place, a name of a cocktail, which is a lot of in Japan. But I didn't want to name my bar those kind of place or cocktail name or stuff like that. So I've been thinking a long time, but High Five sounds good. So I named it my bar High Five, but you can believe it. Japanese doesn't call High Five. They call it High Touch. So they never understand high five means. So I have to explain to every one of them what is a high five. But I figured out that after I already named it and made a logo or something like that, so I couldn't take it. So I made it high five. That answer?
That's good answer.
Yeah. And my bartender not speak English well, so just email me or call me before you come. I might not be there. They became the same as the other bar.
So what is the best way to reach you? Like for anyone here, next time they drop by Tokyo, I know your place is quite hard to find. I looked around for 1 hour possibly before to find it, saying that it's worth it, so you may want to do it. For people here, is that via Facebook, is that an email? If it's an email, do you have any business card that you can give away during 2 weeks? How can people reach you?
I have a bunch of my name card here, so you know my email address here, or I have Facebook account, and only one Hidetsugu Ueno in the Facebook world, so easy to find out me, so you can ask me.
I think that's perfect. I think contact is very important. When you go in Tokyo, visit from bars to bars, you have to tell them you're coming. If you go to the next bar, the bar where you are will tell you, where it is, but you have to warn people, as you said very rightly, so people don't speak English, and that's the way you have to do. Ideally, I'd like to take questions for Ueno now here, so if you have any question, anyone? In regards to High Five, Ice, Japan, please. Yeah, you got one here.
Just a quick question. You always taste your drink before you stir, before you shake. Do you think there's ever a risk of possibly over-diluting a drink when you may not realize? Like, do you think maybe you ever over-dilute your drink? Let's say if you're making it and you don't realize by not tasting it after you've stirred it, or is it?
I don't really think that way because I think to taste the cocktail after shaking is not really doesn't have these drinks. You taste it after shake. What are you gonna do if it's not good enough? Or sour, 2 choices, right? Mixing, right? But before shaking, you taste it, you can adjust. Anytime, whatever.
I'm just talking about the level of water that you put into the drink from the ice. So let's say you're stirring a drink, making a Manhattan, for example, and you stir it. If you stir it too long, you could add perhaps too much dilution, too much water to the drink. So then by tasting it before you stir it, you don't realize maybe over-diluted it. Is there ever a risk? Do you have a kind of rule as to how long you stir a drink for or something?
So I get it. That's why you have to know about the stir, how much water is inside. I personally learn right at the time when you're finished. It's sometimes different by the temperature. When I do want to stir, the flavor, bouquet comes out so suddenly after 20 or 30 or 50, it depends. But so you have to know when you finish the stir. So it needs experience, I think. When you're doing this, it comes the bouquet so suddenly, and that's the time you finish the stir, I believe. So it doesn't happen. Yeah. If you miss it, it get wobbly. If you don't get it, it's not mixed well. Okay?
Next question.
I'm just wondering, do you charge the guests any extra for the cost of the cocktail if you use a diamond rather than one less?
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Is that a different price if you get the diamond ice or the regular ice?
No, I was just joking. I said, it was like 12 euro, turns to 15 euro if I light it. I was joking. It's just ice. Not different. Oh yeah. But it's just for fun. It doesn't take that long. It took long because I was showing you guys and I was talking. But in my bar, it doesn't take less than 3 minutes. It's no problem.
Okay, we have another question that way. Mayo, I saw you. Get back to you in a minute. Yeah?
What is the cost of the cocktails in your bar in relation to the cost of drinks in Japan? It seems like everybody else was talking about, the price of their drinks, et cetera. How much is a cocktail in your bar, and how is that in relation to other bars in Japan?
How much?
The cost of a cocktail in your bar.
Oh, basically, my cocktail with the high five is 1,500 yen for each drink. It's like about 10 to 12 euro, mostly. And some of it is 1,700, some cost 2,000 yen. But basically nobody asked how much is each cocktail is. Because I know most of the guests, they trusted each other. My bar in the 4th floor, and hundreds of bars in. So not much stranger come inside. So I don't have any menu in front of the building or any advertisement outside. So people who knows my bar is upstairs always come to my bar, so they don't really ask how much each costs. So did I answer your right?
Yes.
Okay.
Next question, Mr. Mayo.
Yes, we understand. It's also business related. Yesterday you told me that your bar back starts at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And you start the business at 6, so you want to 2 o'clock in the morning. So that means there are lots of hours here, it's like 5 hours of preparation and everything. And then this ice carving, and it seems like, I'm just interested in, because I think Tokyo is not a really cheap rent, I can imagine. And there must be really high costs on staff costs in your bar. I don't know, maybe not, but it sounds like it's a really high percentage of staff costs. Is it?
Well, I know he comes to bars like 1 o'clock afternoon. He usually go home after 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It's very bartending job in Japan is kind of very artisan job, like Japanese traditional builder or something like that. So they're working really long time, but if you work my place, you can get something from the things he can, live a life, the rest of his life, teaching how to create, teaching how to treat the customer, and I pay like shit.
Just a quick question. How many drinks do you are sold in your bar in average one evening, one night?
How many?
How many?
Guests.
The amount, not in drinks.
How
How many drinks are you serving, selling to your customers one night, one evening,
Well,
on average?
I started my own business last July, so it's not very long. I used to work as bar bartender almost 8 years. It's one of the really, really busiest bar, but my bar is not that busy. But I could say at the Star Bar, customer drinks 3 cocktails average. My bar is like more than 5 drinks for each guest because it's not so busy. They sitting longer. So about 20, 30 guests every day, 5 drinks each. It's average.
Talking about details as well, for what I understand, at some stage when you were building the bar, you had to make a choice, either to make the bar slightly bigger, the back bar, to stock more spirits, or to do a place for a special thing happening there, some kind of snack, some kind of things. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Well, the Star Bar, there's nothing to eat very much. They have a Japanese, Spanish style ham and just a range of cheese. But I moved to a different place in a whole Ginza area. But you know, many hostess bars and stuff in my place. So I need to prepare something to eat. So I prepare something. It's like a hot dog, pizza. Japanese udon and omelette, something like that. So lots of things to eat now.
So you also offer food for the guests? You still have the ham, the Japanese?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
3 times bigger than Starbucks. Yeah.
We probably can take 1 or 2 more questions.
How do you choose the ice between the 2 different cocktails? Like, for example, White Lady, you choose, I don't know, like -6 degrees ice or another cocktail, stuff like that. How do you make the difference when you do creation?
When I create a sidecar, for example, I only use 1 big block rice and shaking like the heart shape. I go forward, but in sidecar, I try not to move in the back forward. I just want to chill it and put air in it. So I change the size of ice for the brown spirit cocktail. And am I answering that I think? Yeah. And I'm kind of well known, but using plastic shaker or a plastic Tupperware to shake, especially for the fresh fruit cocktail. I don't muddle, but I use the electric hand mixer to unify fruit and alcohol in ingredient first. So I put all of ingredient with fruit together. I use 1 big piece of ice. So shaking really gentle, something like that.
More questions? Don't hesitate. It's not really will have the opportunity to ask Mr. Ueno so many questions. So please feel free to jump for it. Question?
Seeing the way
sorry, going many bars to experiment with classics and changing classics and trying to do interpretation of classics. Would you apply that with the same way that you do your race to modern or classics to make them more modern for your guests?
So I didn't get it.
Like classic cocktails, are you? We've understood that you do a few things like, but you don't have any recipes, you know the recipe you follow, but do you yourself change classic recipes, or you don't touch them to make them more modern or to adapt them to your guests?
Yeah, touch it. I don't put extra very much. Like recipe is always different. Sometimes it depends on the recipe. And I don't, like I told you, cocktail recipe in my country is a 60 milliliter total, but I don't really care. What maybe I just created is a 45 milliliter of beefeater 47, and 12 or 13 for poncho, and a 15 milliliter of fresh lemon juice. It's not 60 milliliter. So I don't really care about the amount. It's all about balance, I think. So I touch the recipe, and we sometimes make it lighter or heavier. To sometimes using, golden or Tanqueray. Recipe is just it's not very much important, I think. But I respect the recipe. I totally respect the recipe, but I adjust it. Okay?
Answer the question. Next question. Wilson, watashi nanai udesu. What is, to your opinion, being a good barkeeper or good bartender? What advice would you give to somebody to be a good bartender?
Okay. In my country, I believe not very much young bartender is thinking what they're doing. They're doing it the same thing. If you go many different kind of bar in Japan, every single Japanese bartender doing the same thing. It's like clone. It's like I was wondering they're doing it with thinking. So I always advise for a young bartender, every single motion behind the bar has meaning. So you have to think why you moving like this and moving like that. So it's my first advice for Japanese bartending for the technique.
That answer the question?
That's it?
Is it the only advice? I want to have a bit more your philosophy of the job, basically. What else? What does it take to be a good host?
It sounds like difficult to do 5 different kind of shake or 2 different kind of stir. It doesn't matter really. If you treat a guest, if you slow the bowl in front of you, you slow the bowl in front of the customer. If they ask a question, they answer the question right away. So those kind of hospitality is much important for the bartender. So before I teach them technique, I teach them how to treat the customer, how to treat you, how to show yourself. Some of those kind of things. Like Mr. Stanislav was always giving presentations like you clean yourself and then you cut your toenails or dress a meat or something like that. I think it's a basic thing for a young bartender for the beginning. Okay? Thank you.
Questions? Any question? I also understand that when a guest drink a whiskey, a gin, a vodka, the bottle is placed in front of the guest. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, the Scotch single malt whiskey is very, very popular in my country. So more than half of my background is Scotch whiskey, but more than 80% of my drink is cocktail. But for the less than 20% of drink, I have to have a lots of range of Scotch whiskey, or not more than bourbon whiskey, cognac, little. It's always Scotch single malt, and I always keep the white spirits in the freezer at minus 20 or minus 25 degrees. And when people ask me what kind of gin do you have, and I have this one and this one and this one and this one in the freezer. I have a line range of vodka, rum, and tequila in the freezer. A white spirit always in the freezer because I want to use it for my light cocktail, my drink. It's about the trust between customer and bartender. So people usually doesn't ask to use which, please use a Bifida or please use a Tanqueray. I never say that to me. I use a Bifida when they leave. I use a different brand for a different cocktail. They trust me. So doesn't need to show in my back pocket what it's fit. It's always liqueur and single malt. The right answer?
So it's all about the trust and the customer actually sitting down and saying, okay, just go for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you just deliver every time. I think it's very important to understand that it's very different here. Most of the time, the industry, be it in the UK, the US, or Europe, is very much about the bartending, delivering something, the bar, the brand call, the consumer walking the bar, all the way from Japan here.
Thank you very much.